today this is just a video that I want to bring to y'all because 2K22 is about to drop and I'm about to be streaming all the time. My Twitch is right here. You can find my Twitch right there if y'all want to watch. I'll be streaming 2K all the time. But I want to get updated, bro. I don't know what's going on with the game, so I said why not just react to my boy Agent. My boy Agent always got the latest and the greatest 2K news for me. So let's see what he's talking about. Without further ado, let's get into this video, bro. I'm getting straight into it today. Straight into it. And I apologize for the fan noise. Let me just turn that off for y'all real quick. Turn this fan off. Alright, let's get to it.
We got a gameplay trailer showing not much of anything. Yesterday, we got a whole bunch of gameplay news and a gameplay blog detailing everything from defense to finishing to shooting to...
Alright, bet. So let's see.
Oh, don't mind me, guys. The 2019 championship ring that Toronto won in the NBA championship. I don't know how that got there. That's so crazy. Oh, my God. And today, Mike Wang's been on a flurry on Twitter. Man, he's releasing so much details and news.
Like
we got a lot of surface level stuff yesterday. He's getting into the nitty gritty today, fellas. Let me catch y'all up in case y'all ain't in tune. First of all, if y'all new to the channel, scroll down, tap that big red button. It's gonna make sure you subscribe and click the bell, right?
Facts. If you guys haven't already,
next time video drops, so y'all stay in tune. I appreciate y'all as always. Y'all been showing so much love.
Videos dropping daily.
I'm gonna give y'all this ring. This for y'all, man. Here you go. Mike Wang has clarified here on Twitter that yes, on current gen, pie charts are returning. Someone asked, so what's up with the My Player builder on current gen? We still got pie charts or no? Mike Wang says yes, there are pie charts in the current gen builder. Some new pies were added. So if you didn't like the system last year, you might not like it too much this year neither. And you're gonna get the vibe as we go through this video here that there's a lot of things that new gen has that current gen doesn't have. So I know there's a raging debate on which one people is gonna play. If you do have access to both current and next gen, it might make sense to get both. But if you were gonna play one, it looks like as more information is being revealed that next gen is getting more love this year. Which isn't a crazy realization to come to, because 2K's dev team is working on next gen. It's a whole nother dev team that just recently started working on 2K that's working on current gen. So they're in different leagues, in my opinion.
No, yeah, I heard that 2K this year they have a different dev team. Like 2K current gen has a totally different team as far as like the developers of the game. So that's tough. I want to see how they make the PS5 version different from the PS4 version. That's tough. So let's see how they do that.
Mike Wang clarifies, as he should, for contest, we use interior defense in the paint and perimeter defense outside this year. The block rating will determine how frequently you actually make contact with the ball. Mike Wang doing this year what he probably should have done last year, because last year a whole bunch of people spent money and time on builds only to find out that the attribute they spent the money and time on didn't do the thing they thought it did. So this year he's clarifying ahead of time just so y'all know what time it is. That happened to me so many times. Mike Wang clarifies that in new gen, yes, the steal rating is much more important for steal success this year. And that was in response to someone asking, are better steal animations unlocked after a certain threshold is met for the steal rating? So you get better animations and faster animations, and you could he mentioned in the blog post even strip slashers attacking the paint, and there's badges to help counter that, of course. Hopefully it's not too overpowered, but it seems like there were significant changes made to the steal rating this year. Someone asked,
I hope so, but they say this shit every year, bro. Hopefully I really feel like 2K might be the way I take off, bro, but I gotta sweat it and I'm ready.
NBA 2K22 current and next gen, he says yes it is. It boosts the frequency of contact dunks with the button and makes it easier to successfully finish aggressive skill dunks, and that's on new gen. I struggle to believe that the current gen version of the game is gonna be balanced, because every time we hear things, like everything we've been hearing so far between the differences, it seems like something was made for next gen and it's like, does it work on current gen? And they just throw it on there to see if it works. I struggle to believe current gen is gonna be balanced much. It might take some disco tech. You know what I'm saying? It might take some
facts. You know,
public
the first
game
week of
testing
2K
from the people who purchased the game to get it to that point.
That first
Mike Wang clarifies with the new Menace badge that yes, the higher the tier, the more the attributes are hit. So almost like Intimidator, but outside of the paint. So there was a bunch of new badges that were announced yesterday. Mike Wang is starting to clarify what some of those badges really do. He gave some details here. He said,
is a time to switch gears and slow down. And one of my favorite
Sniper modifies the impact of shot time, and it gives you an extra boost for well-timed shots and an extra penalty for poorly timed shots. Think of it as the opposite of flexible release.
Okay.
So flexible release is packed up and out the game, thank God.
I mean, I never really even used flexible releases,
blows my
bro.
mind. This badge makes a lot more sense, but Power asked the real question here. He said, could we get some clarification as to what a well-timed shot is? To which Mike Wang responded, if you cut up and make the window into 4 equal pieces, the 2 outer pieces being early and late, get an extra penalty, the 2 inner pieces being slightly early and
My nigga, what is he talking about, bruh? Agent, I love you, my nigga. You my boy. You my guy. But, bro, what is... I don't...
Slightly late, get an extra bonus. Excellent is a guaranteed make. And very early, very late, outside the make window, is a guaranteed miss.
All right, let's see. If you cut the make window into 4, the 2 outer early late, get an extra penalty, the 2 inner pieces, so get a bonus. Excellent is guaranteed make. So if you get an excellent release, that shit is cash. That's okay. Very early late outside the window is a guarantee. Okay. Very early or very late. Okay, so it's either a slightly...
There's a few very interesting things here. Very early and very late is a guaranteed miss. That hasn't been the case in every 2K.
Very early, very late.
Excellent is a guaranteed make. Definitely hasn't been the case in every previous 2K. Because you can hit your green.
That's a fact. Niggas be hitting very earlys, bro. Niggas hit very earlys all day. Just hit them shits. Very earlys, very earlys, very earlys. Or slightly early, or when niggas be hitting. Oh my god!
And in previous 2Ks, if your 3-point shot rating wasn't good enough, there was still a slight chance that you can miss, depending on factors. I also feel like slightly early and slightly late is like the average release. Like, not many people get early and late. Most people get slightly early, slightly late. So hopefully it doesn't reward too much bad releases, because there could still be a bad release that registers in 2K system as a slightly early or slightly late. Let alone a good release. Yeah, he hadn't mentioned where that falls in here. But in theory, this badge makes sense. You should be rewarding people who release the ball well and punishing people who don't. It is quite the opposite of flexible release, which not only stayed in the game for multiple years, but found a way to become one of the most powerful badges in the game, is finally removed. Mike Wang clarifies that the dunk meter stays on even when the shot meter option is turned off. So you don't have a choice this year. It's also not that big of a deal, guys. If y'all can't time a dunk with a massive window, I don't know what to tell you, okay? He also clarifies that yes, dunk landings aren't both gens. The steady shooter badge has been marked from the game. 3-point recognition is still in the game. You no longer lose the ball when you do a hop step by accident in the game. So the biggest thing added to finishing in NBA 2K22 so far that we know of is this new feature they're calling the aggressive skill dunk. Mike Wang mentions a couple things. One, that it's actually very hard this year. He said rare to hit contact animations if you're not doing an aggressive skill dunk. It is possible, but rare. Someone asked Mike Wang, does aggressive dunk timing also apply to our standing contact dunk animations?
This should get me excited, bro, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to get excited. And I just want you to know that's going to be a long vid. So get your chips, get your bev, and have a seat. Thank you for tuning in.
And if so, will it be harder to time due to shorter animations? Mike says they are quick and harder to time, so it's probably best to just stick to the shot button or different pro stick directions. But if you do, you can boost your make percentage with the pro stick down. So there's a risk, but there's also a reward for using it. And he mentioned a few times here that the aggressive skill dunk is only applied.
So that means that it's going to be really hard for people to hit contact dunks, because I feel like contact dunks in next gen was overpowered. So let's see.
To new gen. So if you're playing the current gen version of the game, this doesn't apply. So I'm glad people in the community is asking questions about some of the new features and not like the stuff that's just being rehashed, because somebody asked a good question. He said, how does alley-oop timing work? Is it as soon as you catch the ball? Mike clarifies, the meter pops up while the pass is in the air. If you press the shot button too early, you'll miss the catch completely. If you stop it inside the window, you'll make the shot, or at least have a good chance to. If you don't press the button at all, you'll catch and come down with the ball. As long as this isn't too challenging to do and the average person could reasonably do it consistently,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't see any problem with dunk timing. It's only the people that like don't give a and are like horrible at timing dunks.
Alley-oops, I gotta this year, bro. If any of my people that I play 2K with know me, alley-oops is one thing I never really threw, but that shit is low-key game on the tools court. I gotta start doing that, bro.
Making
I don't even know what build I'm gonna make this year,
especially
bro.
ones that aren't contact, might just add like too much complexity to an otherwise simple feature in the game. Mike says Intimidator and Rim Protector are the two main badges for rim protection. Paint defense is probably in my top 5 2K22 upgrades this year. Blocking is miles better than it has been in the past. I've been noting more like natural contact block animations, like your ability to interrupt animations is better now than it was in previous 2Ks, because it was brutal in 2Ks like 2K.
They make the game sound real good this year, y'all.
I think their commitment to rim protection is important because contact dunks have plagued NBA 2K21 to the point where for a lot of people it was just unplayable. So I'm glad they focused their attention this year on it. And Mike Wang saying his top 5 things actually makes me a little bit more optimistic that they actually improved the issue. Mike says the motion team did a lot of work to improve the feel of navigating around screens, reduce the vacuum effect, improve resolution logic, and more. They feel much tighter now. Tighter is something he mentioned a couple times in the blog post as well. And I've heard, just like we heard in the blog post yesterday and we heard in blog posts last year, things feel tighter or there's less vacuums on screen. So I get it's not one of those things where you could just, boom, remove it from the game, but they see it as an issue. They're saying that it's improved this year, so we'll have to play and see it. But I'll tell you this, man, and for a person who's played 2K17, and I played a lot when 2K17 was out, it was brutal. It was like a vacuum like you've never seen before. It actually compromised the gameplay to such a crazy degree.
Bro, when you would play defense, bro, in 2K17, the shit would like suck you, pause. It would like pull you all the way to the other defender when you tried to switch. Like you just it wouldn't allow you to switch defense whatsoever. Like once you was locked onto that player, you was locked onto that player.
Then I like that they're working towards improving it more. So this year they took deep threes, which was previously called limitless range, and they split it up into 2 different badges. Okay. So you can shoot from long range, like 30 feet out, effectively with the spot up limitless badge or the chef badge, but people had some questions, and Mike Wang clarified here saying, the chef rules, possibly could change, must be from 30 feet from the basket. You have to wait 2 or more seconds after you catch the ball, have to be moving for at least half a second, and if you stop before shooting, you have to shoot before 1 second expires. So if you're a shot maker and you like to shoot on the fade, you equip the chef rules badge. If you're a sharpshooter and you like to shoot standing, you equip the limitless spot up badge. You can't have it both ways this year unless you take your badge points and apply them to both badges. Mike Wang also says that the cheesy spin dunk from the 3-point line that a lot of bigs were doing has been removed from the game. He clarifies there are some wild dunk landings this year. I like that. I want it to feel like a dunk contest when you're
but when you do dunk landings, you got to remember that shit stops the game. Cause the nigga will be doing the celebration and my team will be down trying to get back on defense and it'll be a 2-on-3. Cause he's celebrating. That's why I don't really like this.
I don't want to say like that sounds crazy, but like
I hope they fix it to where it's quick.
Crazy dunk and he do these or you do something.
Or run down the court and do it or some shit. Niggas
they
be
charge like an insane amount for these,
like,
which would be like highly
disappointing.
Mike Wang mentions the new shot meter that we saw yesterday, and you're seeing on the screen right now.
Okay, so this I haven't even saw this, y'all. This is the new 22 shot meter. Okay, perfectly zone. Shot meter fills up when white. Shot meter fills up in white. Copy. Oh, that's cool. That's going. Oh man, I can't wait for this fucking game to come out.
He dives deeper because people had questions about this new aggressive.
You guys don't understand, bro. I miss gaming so much, bro. If I could completely switch my fucking YouTube to like gaming and shit, bro, I'll do it. But who knows, bro? I'm gonna just keep doing my thing. I appreciate all 303 of you motherfuckers. Let me get a fucking W in the comments.
Aggressive skill dunk feature. He says aggressive skill dunks let you attempt dunks in situations where you'd otherwise get a layup. I wouldn't say it's guaranteed dunk every time. We tried that. It was either cheesy or a brick fest. I think it is in a good spot now, but we'll fine tune it with community feedback. So Zenz has been a huge issue in NBA 2K for the past couple years, a growing issue. A lot of people feel way too comfortable just cheating to be able to make shots. One of the things Mike Wang did to combat that was, depending on how far you were from the basket, the speed of your shot varied. Mike Wang says that's out of the game now. They took out the vibration shot cue, and they also took out shot aiming in an attempt to curb the people cheating while shooting. He says shot
aiming was an
still
L. Shot aiming was a fucking L. Oh my god. And shout out to my boy Divine too. I can't wait to get back on. I hope Divine caught this game up too. We about to run it up, bro. I'm not playing. We about to run shit up.
People, it just doesn't vary based on distance anymore. That was still easy to exploit. Mike Wang also says that everything he stated about dribble moves goes for both gens. Park handles is not returning to NBA 2K22 until Mike Wang can find a way to introduce it without it interrupting the regular flow of dribbling, which is actually a controller specific problem. I don't know how much you guys know that. It's actually kind of difficult to bind keys on controllers and not have like one key do multiple things, because I play on PC now and there's so many keys on a keyboard, and there's even keys on your mouse you can use, and they design mouses with like 18 different binds you can put on it. There's so much flexibility when it comes to PC, but because 2K is a game more naturally played on controller, there's only so many things one button can do. So until Mike Wang can come up with a better way to include park dribbles, because in the past it just kept interrupting and being accidentally triggered. The tryhard dribblers hated park handles, so although it kind of looked cool and the casual audience liked the fact that they can do all those fancy moves easily, it has been removed from the game until further notice. It's a question we ask every year, and I'm glad it was asked this year. What ball control is needed for pro dribble moves in next gen? Mike Wang says you'll want an 85 ball handle, just like previous years. But Swante replies, is 86 anything special? How many tiers of dribbling are there? To which Mike Wang responds, there are benefits to going above 85. Mainly, your moves will be faster and more effective. There are still 3 general tiers, less than 60, 60 to 84, and 85 plus, just like last year. But he mentions there are different SIGs unlocked at varying other ratings, 65, 70, 75, 80. So although these are the dribbling tiers, it's like there's tiers within tiers, so you have to be careful on like how you decide to cap out your player this year. You have to be specific. And it might depend on how effective some of the SIGs are, because if you're telling me those SIGs you get at 65, 70, 75, 80 are useless, then you'd be better off just keeping your...
And usually, y'all, shout out to my nigga AJ too. This nigga always, he the only person I know that really made his player. This year, I think I'm going to sit down and really make my player to be something vicious, really. So, I hope y'all fucking with me. This is only the beginning. The game comes out in, what, like a week on the 10th. So, what is that, 6 days? So we gonna see
your ball control.
I hope y'all fuck with me on Twitch.
I actually wasn't aware until just now that ball control even affected
put that up there
the
just for
speed
that.
of the animation. But that's some information that if you didn't know, now you know. So on top of ball handling requirements, there's also going to be height requirements to certain animations, because Mike Wang says that tall 7-foot players just looked crazy doing some of those dribble moves. But most of the time, if you get that tall, you probably wouldn't even have the ball handle necessary.
Even like
so
when this video,
like
if you cop in 22 when it come out.
Playmaker, point forward in the flesh. But he's saying there are height requirements to dribble animations now. NBA 2K Intel has this beautiful graphic here of all the new badges.
I definitely want to take a look at all this shit.
If you're interested in any of these new badges and how it applies to you in the build that you want to create in NBA 2K22. So I asked a question in yesterday's video as it relates to this new badge called Mismatch Expert. The idea was if someone switches and now you got a tall defender on you, you can shoot over top taller defenders. In the history of NBA 2K, 2K has always valued tall and lanky players. If you were not even in position to contest, but you were tall, sometimes it just puts you in positions to contest, and it said heavily contested. And vice versa, if you were short, but you were in position to contest, just off the merit of you being short, it wouldn't qualify as a contest. That also applies to your wingspan. So I always told people, unless you really need your shooting attributes, just make your wingspan a little bit longer. It's gonna pay dividends on the defensive end. But now there's a badge to add some balance on the other side of things with Mismatch Expert. Mike Wang
because that's true. If I want to
necessarily have to be a matchup.
If I want to be a spot up like shooter, like that's what I usually am, bro. It was usually back in the day when I played like what 16, 17, bro. Like I always ran a point guard, so it was like. But 17 when I hit SS3, I think, bro, it was like fucking nigga. Damn, I'm just reminiscing, bro. We gonna get to that, but when I had SS3, I had a small guard, bro. I used to cook niggas in Rivet City, bro, all day. Oh my god, I just hope this is like that. I really do, bro.
It takes effect anytime you're undersized against a defender, similar to Giant
Please,
Slayer,
there needs to be a game that is just good. Don't fail this one. This one, please be somewhat entertaining.
I can't tell you how many times there's a tall player with a long wingspan that was not in position that counted as a contest. Having a badge, as long as it's not overpowered, that could help counter that is dope. Shot contest percentages is going to be back, so you'll know what NBA 2K thought about how you contested somebody's shot. Mike Wang says also about shot contests that this was a primary focus for our team this year. I'll never say anything is perfect, but the new contest system is much more reliable and predictable. Mike Wang also says, as it relates to driving, that you can still get contact dunks without doing aggressive skill dunks, but it's going to be much more harder now. He says it's going to be rare. So if you do want to get contact animations, you're going to have to attempt those aggressive skill dunks. And as he reminds us 40 times, it only applies to new gen. Mike Wang clarifies that there's still a height cutoff for some jumpers. 6'9" or under will get them all, just like previous years. He also mentions that all badges are identical between gens. The Showtime and Heart Crusher badges have been removed. And big news, the speed glitch from current gen 2K21 that them TikTok superstars have been abusing is finally gone. People have been asking for that to be removed in 2K21, but I guess Mike Wang waited till 2K22 to make that change. Because as a dev explained in a video one time, sometimes there are changes you can make to gameplay that break like 70 other things, and it's too risky to do while a game is out without like extensive testing. So maybe it was one of those things, who knows. But if you did hate the speed glitch, rejoice. If you abuse the speed glitch, you're gonna have to get a lot more crafty this year. It might take a little bit more skill for you to figure out how to dribble quickly. I imagine it won't be a month after launch of NBA 2K22 before Steezo and the likes, G-Man and everybody else figures out like crazy combinations that they can do on the next gen version. And Mike Wang also says, and I don't know how much I believe him on this one, that with the right ratings and badges, MIDI fades are deadly. And hopefully that also applies to the post game, because they were showing post players some loves in the blog post yesterday. So this is usually
that's another type of gameplay, nigga. I have a big man send me a screen. I hit him, right? I go to the mid range, pull up. I mean, mid range on the 2-score, bro. That's unstoppable, bro.
Floodgates open, and that's Mike Wang news, that's trailers, that's screenshots, there's all type of different news. And this is also the week where NBA 2K said themselves that we're supposed to be hearing something about my team, so we could expect that in the coming days. If you guys are new and you missed yesterday's video where we talked about things like the improvements made to the post game, make sure to click this video right here. Subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all watching. As always,
hey bro, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. We got some good 2K content coming for y'all. I can't wait to dive into it myself. It sounds very promising. Hopefully 2K doesn't sell the bag this year. 21 was I give them a pass. I said this to everybody. It was their first year with the new console. They should have adapted, got all that stuff out the way. They should be good now. So now they need to get this game right so we could keep moving. But it's your boy Tom. I'm out, bro.